Hi guys, this is my project. It's an electric bike, but basically it's an electric assist. Uh, I wanted to try to keep the price of the project under $100, and in the end it wasn't far off that. Basically, the motor I used was a radiator fan motor from a Nissan Maxima. It's a sealed unit, and it has two circuits. Basically, there's a low power and a high power circuit. It's I don't know if it's brushed or brushless, but it's when you block it on both circuits, it draws 40 amps, so that's a 450 watt motor, and on the first circuit it draws 20 amps. So yeah, that's that. I was able to mount a pulley onto it, or a little wheel. It's a friction drive. My design is a friction drive. I wanted to do it this way to make it a bit easier to be able to just pull it off and just ride the bike normally if I didn't want to lug around the battery. I built it onto a cheap aluminum bicycle rack. I bought that from Canadian Tire for $15. I took the cover off because it was just plastic, and I made a little wooden box here to mount the battery in. This cover is a cheap cover from a dollar store. It was like $1.25 or something like that. And the battery I used, it looks like an SLA battery. It is an SLA, but it's a deep cycle. It's for an EV. It's for an electric vehicle. It's from a scooter. I got that for $60. It's a 20 amp hour, and yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it can supply 40 amps, no problem, but obviously that's only when the motor's blocked. So if you cycle with it, you won't use that much, and you can probably cycle for about an hour without dropping it below 10 volts, which is what they recommended me not to do. I was pretty lucky with the motor. If any of you have ever done anything like this before, it's really hard to mount anything to a radiator fan motor because the shaft is only 8mm. So basically, I cut open the fan, and inside was a little, looks like a sprocket, but it's just a piece of aluminum. I drilled these 3 holes in it, if you can see that, and I was really lucky to be able to line it up kind of perfectly on the pulley, on the drive. This drive I was just lucky to be able to get a vac motor. It's an old vac motor from the UK, a 240 volt one I found in a surplus store. In the absence of Radio Shack, I was able to find another store, but it's not quite as good as Radio Shack, I don't think. It's just a local store. When I first tried the bike, it pulled nicely. I could get it to pull at about 10 or 15 miles an hour without any assistance, but obviously it's really pushing the motor, and the motor got really hot. So the next thing I did was I found a heat sink. If you can see this here, this is it's a heat sink. It cost me $3.99 from this surplus store. I was pretty lucky. I mounted that on the back. I've not really run it very much to see if it actually helps with the dissipation, but I think it will, because the contact on the motor is really good. Like I was able to get a good contact on the back of the motor with it. The chassis for the drive, the chassis for the motor is just some aluminum box section. It's a little bit thin. It's pretty cheap, but yeah, it does the job for now. And I'll show you. I didn't put a controller on it. I wanted to buy a controller. The motor cost me $15. So after a while, I really wanted to keep the price down, and so I didn't get a controller. Basically, I'm not going to scrap the battery if I ride the bike a lot, because the pull on the motor, it's only 400 maximum, like 400 watts, so 40 amps. But I could scrap the motor if I don't pedal. pretty sure about that because it'll just get too hot. I'll show you it working now. I'm struggling here with my laptop because my battery's dead on my camera. So I've just a switch. I have a switch here. I'll just show you the switch. If you see the switch there, it's just a double switch. I was able to get it's a 115 volt I think, but it's capable of 15 amps at 115 volts, so it should be alright with 12 volts and 20 amps. So let's see if I can put this laptop somewhere where you can see the back wheel spinning. This is pretty difficult to do. My garage is, my workshop's a bit small. So I'll just show you here. So the first speed, that's speed 1. If I put speed 2 on, you can hear it speeding up. So yeah, that's that. I did want to take it for a drive and show you guys how well it does, but it's a little bit difficult with a laptop. So anyway, good luck if you guys are looking to make one. I haven't really used it that much yet. I've only cycled around the block a few times with it. I guess the test will come when I cycle to work, which is like 18 miles away. So maybe I'll do an update and let you know how it goes. All right. Good luck. Bye.